Over the last couple of years, my game of the years have actually been mostly indie games. Indie developers have been providing a lot of interesting and unique experiences, and today's video I'm actually going to talk about one of my favorite indie developers going by the name of Siactro, one of those. They're the creator of the Toree series, a series of very small, bite-sized platformers that harken back to very early 3D platformers, and I was given access to Toree Saturn, their latest release, and it's just another banger. The developer continues to provide little experiences, games that can be completed in short bursts but have a ton of replayability, and for me that's a big thing. A game that you're only spending a couple bucks on that you can spend multiple attempts at going through and just getting better and better at. Those are the types of games I love, especially because another one of my hobbies is speedrunning, and one of the big things that Siactro games actually have are speedrunning communities, and especially Toree games that have, in-game timers and leaderboards that the community makes. It just fosters a lot of a fun time of just trying to see how much better you can get. And some of these levels, as I go through and I think I'm doing really good and just bursting through, I end up not even getting the best times. So some of my levels don't even have like the S rank. The Toree series are, like I said, a series of miniature platformer games. They very much have like their own little themes to them, have like identities that they try to match depending on which game. In this case, Toree Saturn, while it is named after the Saturn, which I imagine is somewhat of a harken to the Sega Saturn, as in previous games they have games like Toree Genesis. The game itself actually feels kind of like it's a love letter to Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast and Sonic Adventure 2 in very specific areas. The game has several levels and it introduces a new antagonist to the series called Hockey, which is as the game puts, the evil version of Toree. The game actually contains a story mode which has actual cutscenes, where most of the Toree games, it just puts you level to level to level until you reach the end, where there's some sort of undertone throughout the whole thing, but for the most part it's left up to interpretation. But in Toree Saturn there's actually a story mode where you get full-on cutscenes that show off some of the stuff. And they do try to keep it very simple. This game doesn't have like full voice acting, and these cutscenes aren't going to be minutes long. It's no Metal Gear Solid, but it's definitely a nice addition to the series that traditionally hasn't had. And yet it contains all of the same fun and replayability, and even contains a side mode where it's like a throwback to Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which I just didn't know I really wanted, but it's really fun to mess around with. The whole game has been a blast to play through, and I just keep wanting to play these games. Thankfully, the one thing I like about Siactro is they don't actually try to push these games out, despite a lot of their projects being smaller in scope to most indie developers and obviously most AAA developers. They don't try to push out their games constantly. They spend a good chunk of their time, and Toree Saturn was a game that had been delayed a couple times and had spent quite a bit of time in development, and it definitely shows why. This game is very well polished. It's got quite a bit to do in comparison to most Toree games, and the cutscenes itself, I imagine those probably ate up a good chunk of time to figure out how to do. So I can only applaud their efforts, and I just look forward to every single one of their games that they put out, and I greatly appreciate every one that they provide, because these types of games, for me, I just love to sit down and play them. I love short games where the replayability is at the forefront. The games where, like, for me, speedrunning is a big thing, and so the ability to just pick up a game and not have to worry about insane tech, insane tricks, where you can just have fun and try to see how fast you can do a level, I like that kind of stuff. Now, am I going to, like, push for the top and be the best player of the game? No, I've never done that for any of them. But it is still a fun time, and it's definitely a game I recommend. It's not going to be too expensive. Like I said, they keep their games pretty cheap. I will leave a link to the Steam page below. At the time of this video going up, it releases tomorrow, but it is definitely a game worth checking out. And there is a demo if you're interested in seeing what the game looks like and how it plays if you haven't actually played any of the Toree games before. And I also wanted to say that I did actually do speedruns of the full game. I will show my time on the screen here as what I ended up with. So if you do pick up the game and decide to try and see how fast you can complete it, let me know if you can actually beat my time. Granted, it's not good. I died several times, so it shouldn't be too difficult to beat, But that's one of the things that I run into quite a bit when I play games, is I oftentimes approach them from somebody who wants to speedrun. It's definitely worth your time checking out. So if you haven't played a Toree game, or if you had played them before and want to pick up the latest one, it is definitely worth playing, checking out, seeing the cutscenes, seeing the levels, and the new side mode where you get to play as a little skatebird. So with all of that, I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you want to see more of this type of stuff. But with all that, I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.